Okay, looks like all the officers are here already. Miss Hanis, you may start now.
Thank you for everyone for your willingness to guide me on the procedure related to tax payment. Thank you again for your time. I'm eager to understand the intricacies of tax compliance. Could we dive a bit deeper into the responsibility of taxpayer?
Certainly, Ms. Hanis, beyond the obligation to pay tax, Malaysians must grasp the significance of their responsibility and right as a taxpayer. Awareness is crucial to avoid unintended non-compliance. Fulfilling this responsibility involves reporting income in the income statement form, submitting it to LHDN, and undergoing assessment.
I see. So what does the assessment entail?
HDN reviews the details in your income tax return Form B, ensuring accuracy and compliance with tax laws. This involves a meticulous examination of reported income, deductions, and financial disclosure if needed. Queries may be raised and supporting documentation might be requested.
That clarifies things. Now, what about the self-assessment system?
The self-assessment system (SAS) places more responsibility on taxpayer to ensure that the correctness of the information provided. It encourages reflection, goal setting, and continuous improvement. Essentially, it's about individuals taking charge of their growth and development, ensuring a proactive approach to financial responsibilities.
Interesting. Moving on the written and assessment process, can you elaborate on the specific? Certainly, filling your income tax return Form B is a critical step. It includes detailed list income for various sources, applicable tax credit and deduction. All submitted as HDN reviews the information, verifies its accuracy, and calculates your final tax liability. You will receive a tax assessment notice outlining the result. And if I need to make amendments,
Amendments are permitted if error or omission are discovered. However, is a one-time allowance per year of assessment. Proper documentation supporting the amendment is crucial. There are valid reasons for amendment, such as underreported income, wrongly claimed expenses, miscalculated capital allowance, or misapplied incentive.
thank you for that clarification. Could you explain more about the penalties for amendments?
Certainly, if the amended written form is provided within 60 days of the submission deadline, a 10% increase in tax is charged. Beyond 60 days but within 6 months, a formula incorporating a percentage of the tax payable is applied. This emphasizes the importance of timely and accurate amendments.
However, Ms. Hanis, you can be charged under several sections of Income Tax Act 1967. First, Section 112, it states that if Ms. Hanis failed without reasonable excuse to furnish an income tax return form, amount that you can be fined are 200 until 20,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or both. Second, under section 112 clause 1, it states if Ms. Hanis failed without reasonable excuse to give notice of chargeability to tax, amount that you can be fined is 200 until 20,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or both. Third, under section 113 clause 1 clause B, it states that if Ms. Hanis make an incorrect tax return by omitting or understanding any income, the amount that you can be fined is 1,000 to 10,000 and 200% of tax undercharge.
The next one, it also section 113 clause 1 clause B. It is related to give any incorrect information in matters affecting the tax liability of a taxpayer or any other person. The fine can be starting from 1,000 ringgit to 10,000 ringgit and 200% of tax undercharge. You can also be charged under section 114 clause 1 about willfully and with intent to evade or assist any other person to evade tax. You will be penalty starting from 1,000 ringgit to 20,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both, and 300. The last one is section 114 clause 1 clause A about assist or advise without reasonable care others to under-declare their income. You will be fined from 2,000 ringgit to 20,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both.
Next, under section 115 clause 1 is related to attempt to leave the country without payment of debt. You may be fined minimum 200 ringgit and maximum can be 20,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or can be both. Next, section 116 is related to obstruct any authorized official of IRBM in carrying out his duty. You may be fined 1,000 ringgit to 10,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year or can be both. Next, under section 119 A, it's related to fees without reasonable excuse to comply with an order to keep proper records and documentation. You may be fined minimum 300 ringgit and can be maximum for 10,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term that exceeding 1 year or can be both.
Next, for section 120 clause 1, offence without reasonable excuse to comply with a notice asking for certain information as required by IRBM, the fine is starting 200 ringgit to 20,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or both. Next, with the subsection, section 120 clause 1, first without reasonable excuse to give notice on charge of address within 3 months, the starting fine is 200 to 20,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or both. I appreciate the details. Lastly, about the appeal process, what should I know?
Taxpayers have the right to appeal if dissatisfied with their income tax assessment. Form Q is used for standard appeals and it must be submitted with detailed grounds of appeal. Late appeals using Form N may be considered with valid reason for extension.
This has been incredibly insightful. I feel much more confident about navigating this process. Thank you all for your thorough explanation. You are welcome, Miss Hanis. Remember, we are here to support you at every step. If you have further questions or need assistance, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, I think that's all from us. Okay, like the officer like Mr. Zikri said, you can reach us whenever you want. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Miss Hanis.